Hello, I'm Professor Brad, and this is my history classroom. Let's take a journey through history together. Welcome to day one of our unit on the road to the American Revolution. Today, we're going to tackle the background that set everything in motion. Our objective is simple but important. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain how the French and Indian War and the Proclamation of 1763 created both economic and political friction between Britain and its American colonies. Grab a notebook, let's dive in. First, picture this. It's the 1750s. Britain and France are both hungry for land and power in North America. The British colonies are growing fast along the Atlantic coast, but they want to expand west into the Ohio River Valley.
The Ohio River Valley presents a most agreeable prospect. Fine timber, gentle rolling hills, and land of uncommon fertility. Indeed, it would make a most valuable addition to His Majesty's empire.
The French already have forts and fur trading posts there and are allied with many Native American tribes. Conflict was inevitable.
The Ohio River Valley belonged to France and King Louis. Keep your pinkies off of eat. Yes, I am that George Washington. More about me later.
Fighting actually starts in 1754 when a young Virginia militia officer named George Washington gets into a skirmish with French forces.
I cannot tell a lie. I helped start the French and Indian War.
What began as a local fight explodes into a full-scale war, the French and Indian War. On one side, you have Britain with the strongest navy and army in the world, and most of its American colonies.
Well met, Admiral. Ahoy, General!
On the other, France and many Native American nations who didn't want British settlers taking their land.
Hello to my native friends!
For 9 long years, the war rages across forests, rivers, and mountains. Britain eventually wins big. In 1763, the Treaty of Paris was signed. What did Britain gain? All of Canada and everything east of the Mississippi River. Britain is now broke. The war doubled their national debt to about £140 million.
King George III and Parliament look across the ocean at the prosperous American colonies. That's where the money is, my lord.
Hey, we just spent all this money protecting the colonies. They should help pay the bill.
How about no?
Britain starts changing its policies. Parliament wants more revenue from the colonies. That's how the economic friction starts.
I do hereby proclaim this proclamation known as the Proclamation of 1763. Consider it thus proclaimed.
Just months after the war ends, King George issues the Proclamation of 1763. It draws a line straight down the Appalachian Mountains. It states that no British colonists are allowed to settle west of this line. Why? 2 big reasons. First, the Native Americans, especially after Pontiac's rebellion in 1763, are attacking settlers. Britain doesn't want another expensive war. And second, Britain wants to keep the colonies close to the coast where it's easier to control trade and collect taxes.
No colonists can settle west of the Appalachian Mountains. But isn't that what we all fought for?
To the colonists, this feels like a slap in the face. Many had fought in the war expecting land as a reward. Land speculators, farmers, and fur traders had already planned to move west. And the king is telling them no. This creates political friction. Colonists start asking, are we British citizens with rights, or are we just cash cows for the empire? They feel their liberties are being taken away.
Let's go, boys. We have the king's taxes to collect. It's about time these colonists paid their fair share.
We have 2 dynamics in play. Britain controls the colonies, that's continuity, but they are also going to enforce new taxes and restrictions on trade. That's change. Let's tie this to our big picture. Before the war, Britain mostly left the colonies alone. That's called salutary neglect. After the war, big change. Britain starts enforcing rules and raising money directly from the colonies. Britain has massive debt and plans new taxes. Add in the proclamation of 1763, and the colonists start to become very concerned. While these two events didn't cause the revolution overnight, they planted the seeds of distrust that will grow over the next 12 years, eventually leading to armed resistance and the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Words that the new country would struggle with until the Civil War, but that is for another lesson. So, quick objective check. Can you explain in your own words how the French and Indian War and the Proclamation of 1763 created economic and political friction? In the next episode, we'll look at the first real taxes, the Sugar Act and Stamp Act, and how colonists pushed back. Thank you for attending Professor Brad's classroom today. Hope you take a journey through history with me again real soon.